And welcome to another cast of a game in the semifinals, I believe. Yes,
Yes,
between
it
Line
is.
of Blood and Kelvaro. Kelvaro is playing as the Americans. He's in the north, and in the south is Line with the Wehrmacht. And co-casting will be Line of Blood. How are you doing today, Line?
Good. Good.
Excellent. So this is on a Faymanville approach, and we've got since we've got Line of Blood, he'll be able to comment on sort of what he was thinking and his strategies throughout the game. So it looks like you went with Assault Grenadiers. Is that sort of your standard build these days with the Wehrmacht?
Um, yeah, it's a pretty successful build, and I was pretty successful with it last match, so I thought I gave it another go.
Yeah, they
Oh,
definitely seem to be the best infantry that the Wehrmacht have to stand up to the riflemen, I would say.
keep in mind you have to get the assault grenadiers close range, or else they won't stand a chance against the riflemen that the Americans
Exactly.
have.
In that way, they're similar to the Sturmpios almost.
Yeah.
So Line of Blood capturing a strat point and the fuel point, whereas Kelvaro is leaving one of the strat points in the back corner for later and going to the front line. Seems like a wise move, I would say. And we've got an engagement. It looks like Kelvaro's rear echelons are going to be outgunned by a assault grenadier and a pyro squad, so they're going to just pull it off and head back and try and steal the fuel. Very annoying play by Kelvaro. Nope.
Meanwhile, Kelvar's capping the fuel in the center.
And he's gone for the VP instead of the fuel. But Lion is aware of this. You've caught him out and you're chasing him down.
Right. Though I knew that wasn't his main force, since usually he'll cap his rear echelons on the other side, while his main force is on the other side.
Okay. And looks like a Grenadier squad has been called in by you. And let's take a look over at Calvaro's units. He is building, he's actually researching grenades at this time. Interesting choice. 3 rifles, then nades, so pretty standard for if you're going for grenades.
Some people like going bars early. Some people like grenades. It really depends on your play style.
For sure. How did you
For me,
find the grenades worked out for Calvaro in this match?
I think they worked pretty well. They made me retreat a couple of times, which
Okay.
cost me some valuable some capture points.
Right.
For built up areas, grenades are better fits because you can there's only a couple of choke points, and you don't have to go through one way. So either you have to retreat back or you have to take the losses.
Some assault grenadiers moving in on a garrison house, and they're going to wisely pull back as they have a little bit of damage. And the rifles are going to get behind a green cover wall, but they're going to be out of range soon as the Grens wisely pull back to the farthest point of that capture point so they can't be seen by the rifles. And now they're engaging some grenadiers, and they're going to come. Other squad is going to come out of the house. Nice MG42 setup by Line, and unfortunately he's got the smoke grenades already though.
Here's where I converge most of my forces to try to deal with those two rifleman squads.
Yeah, a lot of forces coming in from Line. Definite win of this engagement for you.
The thing for the Aussies here, need to try to get superior forces against the Americans at the critical point of attack.
Sure. Yeah, because you're generally a little bit outgunned, so if you can have the extra unit or two, you might be able to wipe them. Here goes the Askrens charging in. They're low
I
health though.
Yeah, I try using the sprinter build to try to get closer to get more damage, but unfortunately it didn't work that way.
Yeah, just I bet if they had full health, it would have worked out a little better.
Hmm. Possibly.
These rifles are going down quick. Calvaro's going to want to retreat, and down they go. Big squad loss for Calvaro. Good
Early
map
squad
control.
wipes are very hurts your early squad wipe really hurt, so it's better be careful with your units early game.
For sure. Yeah, earlier it is, the more punishing the squad wipe is. I mean, late game, unless you consider that you might be vetted late game. But if you have like a fresh squad late game that gets wiped, it's not nearly as bad as like a wipe in the first 5 minutes. Lion unfortunately retreating his MG right through a rifle squad.
Yeah. I shouldn't have retreated that. I wanted to go back to the base to heal up, but
Oh, and he
unfortunately,
died.
yeah. And here's where I used my MG42, which is a big loss and a huge game for Kelvaro.
There's an example of just some bad luck, but also, I guess, maybe not a wise decision, but it could be luck too. I mean, how are you to know they were going to retreat through those guys? But
Eh.
I think it's more
Well,
lucky on Cavaro's part.
retreating is still something Relic has to try to fix because sometimes units will retreat through some ridiculous paths. Will
Sure.
get them killed like utterly.
It'd be nice if they would take into consideration how many enemies are on the path and then take the path where there's not any enemies or less enemies.
That would be a good
Right
thing.
now they just take the shortest route. So
Sometimes the short is not the best.
Kelvaro did a good job just routing two squads there of Grens. Oh, but a couple losses on the rifle squad, and the Askrens are going to have to pull back as well. So we're going to get a period of quiet here as line has retreated to your base, and you're going to reinforce and probably try to do some capping.
Generally, for Yassier, you need to be in cover. They will not last long in open areas.
Indeed, especially now that they've got those bars out. And now map controls a little bit in Kelvaro's favor because of the mass retreats that occurred. Wise decision by line to build the bunker in the base with the healing. Definitely critical against the Americans, I would say.
Yeah, you'll need every bit of health you can get.
Couple of Grins moving into the north where they've got just a rear echelon to contend with. And they're going to pull a quick retreat. Meanwhile, in the south, a Pioneer squad capping the munitions, which is, I don't believe it's connected, unfortunately. So you'll have to grab that strat point in front of the VP, that's going to be a hot battle zone, I think, right near that VP.
Yeah, that choke point is really important if you want to grab the southern capture points.
Great rifle nade there by line. Just took a rifle squad down to 2 men. Taking a look at the damage stats, line's done 2667 to Kelvaro's 1992, and kills very similar. 19 kills, 16 deaths for line, 15 kills, 19 deaths for Kelvaro. How do you find the LMG on the Gren stacks up against the bars?
I would say the MG42 light machine gun is on par with the Browning automatic rifles. It depends on. I think it does more damage, but the Americans are able to grab two per squad without increase their firepower.
Oh, that was strange. It looks like you retreated there, then they somehow stopped retreating on the Gren squad. They had the exclamation point over their head, and then a grenade came. They stopped retreating and ate the grenade, and then you retreated again. I'm not sure why that is. I've seen that very rarely, like where I retreat, and somehow it's like I issue a command really fast after that, and the retreat gets cancelled. I'm not sure if
Like
that's what happened.
like it get canceled completely or just for a second.
Completely, and then you have to re-retreat.
Interesting. I believe it got stunned and might cancel the order like that.
Maybe, yeah. So Kelvaro's got a MG42 forward in a building. That's going to be a pain in the ass. And Line is firing his AT gun at the building. Gonna try and whittle away at it. Fortunately, it's full
That
health.
house was a critical choke point to the fuel, and I tried to get rid of it. Any way I could.
Yeah, it'd be unfortunate to have to get a mortar just to get rid of that. AT gun doing a pretty good job on it, actually. And the AT decides to pull back, and the MG decides to pull back. Kelvaro with the AA gun out now. That'll do some good work on the assault grenadiers for sure. Wow. Big grenade in the north. And in the south looks like a pyro went down to some double rifles. MG re-garrisoning in a second building might be a chance for a rifle nade here. Let's see if line has the munitions. The 33 munitions, is that enough?
Yes it is.
Alright.
The rifle grenade is about 30 munitions.
Okay. Yeah, the egg half track is already doing a lot of hurt here online.
Generally for the Wehrmacht, after you get the light mechanized company, you generally want to get an anti-tank gun as soon as possible. Because Americans will usually have a light vehicle by this time. Either a half-track, or M5A1 Stewart, or M20 utility car. All those very lethal.
And a period of quiet here as Kelvaro just decides to pull back a little bit and prepare for a push by Line of Blood. Line's got some Panzer Grenadiers out along with the Assault Grenadiers there, double vet Assault Grens. And some more double vet Grens are going to probe them and see what's going on up here. And they're going to have to pull a quick retreat. Panzergrens and Asgrens moving to the north where unfortunately the A gun A half track is set up. Kelvaro is really trying to turn the screws tightly here. He's got a good advantage and he's really pushing it hard. So what were you thinking at this point?
At this point?
I mean,
well,
we're super early, but
like,
Kelvaro's got a good
advantage.
advantage.
You see some of Kelvaro's riflemen with the defensive stance?
Yes.
Yes. Those are... He used those to cover the choke points that I have to go through, which made it very difficult for me to make any movements up north.
That's clever.
So, yeah. I did not expect that. So I did have a little trouble trying to get around them.
Now triple vet on the LMG Grens, and a two-man squad's going to have to retreat. Yeah, I think the LMG, MG42 LMG is second only to the MG that the Obersoldaten carry.
The MG34.
Yep.
I believe the MG42 had a higher rate of fire. But I think what makes it so lethal on the Obersoldaten is just the stats on it. It's one of the most veteran troops that the Local Command in the West have.
Right. Yeah, they're supposed to simulate a more experienced soldier. So we've got a little bit of action here with, like you said, the defensive stance on the riflemen. Now, how did you find rifle grenades worked against those guys? Did you find that worked to try and get rid of them?
I had some limited success. I would kill about 2 to 3 riflemen at most, but it would not make him retreat.
Okay.
So that would suppress my units and I had to pull back.
Huh. Yeah, grenades are pretty much the only defense you have against that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Those pyros doing some good capping over on the left where it's completely unguarded by Kelvaro. Taking a look at the units now, Line's got a Panzergren, a triple vet a grenadier, a double vet grenadier, double vet assault gren, and a double vet AT gun. Kelvaro, on the other hand, has his major, lieutenant, 3 rifles, and an MG42 stolen. Askren's charging in, causing a retreat. There's that defensive stance again.
Whenever you have like some spare manpower, you should try like investing some cash. That's what Kelvaro did.
Down goes the machine gun. That's a good pickup for your Panzergrens, perhaps. Fortunately, he's pinned down by the MG.
I wanted to grab that, but the MG42 in the house was suppressing me, so I couldn't grab it in
Exactly.
time.
That's a really good house for that MG, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, big grenade there. Good thing he pulled the retreat there. So Lion doing a good job in terms of, even though it's Kelvaro is almost pinning him into his base on the north half. On the left side, you're doing quite a good bit of capping, even though you're basically trapped in from getting out of the base in the north portion.
What I should have done is like shift my attention to the south since it was like less focused on by Kelvaro. Just hammering yourself over and over as a machine gun is not good. Whenever they're concentrated on one point, try to go for the other side,
Right?
which I should have done.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
I paid the price for that.
hopefully that house will go down to the HE gun here. I guess maybe you should have kept firing on that house even after he pulled out of it the first time. Just brought it down.
Yeah, that might have been a good thing to do.
Kelvaro's getting into range of the base MG now, so he's got to be careful that he doesn't want to get pinned or suppressed, and then he'll have to retreat. Here comes a Sherman. There's some Panzer guns quickly retreating. Big shot goes off, killing one, and they're running right through some MG fire. And they escape with one man. Yes. AT gun looks like he got a shot off on the Sherman.
I think it did about 15% damage on it, but
Yeah.
Kelvaro quickly repair that.
Gotta love that repair ability that Americans have. It's one of my favorite abilities in the game.
One, the American strength, you can repair with your own crewmen.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
They'd be in dire straits without that ability, though, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would, because the only you can repair is the rare echelons, and they're very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Even more than the engineers that the Germans have, even the combat engineers that the Russians have.
Exactly. So it looks like Kelvaro can't put these guys in a defensive stance because they're already in combat. So we'll see if the LMGs on the Grens are doing a good job here, dropping the rifles like nothing. Down to one man now. There's the AT gun firing on the Sherman. Sherman's going to back away. Panzergren's moving up with the double Panzerschreck, getting a shot off, but it hits the. Yes, he did get a hit actually. Sherman is just going to creep out of there with almost no health. Really good engagement for Lion there. Fortunately, Kelvaro has done a really good job with his MG, stolen MG all game long. In red cover though, bad decision by Kelvaro to put him in the red cover, and he loses it.
Yeah, that's what's finally caused me to finally take care of that weapon.
Yeah, almost never do you want to set a MG up in negative cover because, like you just saw, it can get taken out even in a head-on situation because it basically takes double or triple damage.
And Kelvaro gets a Jackson out.
Indeed. Line sitting at 18 fuel.
Yeah, this is where I get my my Panzer IV out.
Yeah.
Rolling on right now.
In the south, driving a rifle squad away. Probably going to go for the VP with these triple vets.
I recruit back my MG42 because it's better to not leave it. It's better to take it back and leave it for Kelvaro to recruit again.
Exactly. No doubt about that. So Panzer IV out. Now, did you consider getting a Stug, or was it definitely Panzer IV you wanted to save for?
It was for a Panzer IV because Stugs, they are good against infantry, but with that Sherman on the field, I decided against that.
Okay. Here comes a big blob, including an ambulance from Kelvaro, even his rear echelons in the battle. Panzer IV getting a shot off on the Sherman, and some nice Panzerschrecks coming in, really damaging the Sherman, and he's pretty much effectively out of the battle for now.
Bandit Jackson's moving in with his 9mm gun.
Uh-oh, here comes an arty on the AT gun, and the tank, and the Panzer gun. Great work on the Jackson by the P4. Sadly, those PG AT gun had to pull back, otherwise that Sherman would have been toast.
Yes, it would have.
Might get another
Now,
shot off. Oh, and it
yeah.
misses. Another shot misses. And now it's out of range.
My Bet 3 AT gun has been knocked out.
A little bit of bad luck there for Line because that AT gun could have killed that Sherman if he were luckier.
That was definitely a critical moment. I lost a tank and some of my most veteran units, which was not good.
Indeed. Ambulance getting really aggressive here, moving. Oh, and that's wise. He's actually got the ability to heal well in a defensive stance. That's going to be tough to dislodge.
The Pioneers knocked out, and the reason I didn't retreat is that I didn't want them retreating through the middle, which surely would have been killed by all those riflemen there. So I tried to pull back and behind.
There's a one-man Askren pulling out.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, with these MGs at long range, the Panzergrens can't exactly get in close enough to throw a grenade by any means.
No, I cannot. A mortar, which would be a good investment.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you if you considered getting a mortar.
To be honest, that never crossed my mind in this match.
Okay.
I should have, though. Definitely some artillery would have been nice against these units.
Here comes the double Sherman push now. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, if I have my ATs in position.
One AT in good position, the other one also able to get a shot off. Another missed shot by the AT though. Rear armor hit. And Panzerschreck's moving up as well.
And both of them got away.
Indeed. That was similar to that situation where in our game only the difference was I ejected my crews in error and I could not escape like Kelvaro just did. That's a brutal error.
The thing is, I'm able to damage his tanks pretty severely, but I can never just get those finishing blows.
Right. And
which is pretty critical.
With his repair ability, it just makes it real tough because he'll just gladly retreat and repair. He sensed that you were near in the north, and he recrewed his tank. Otherwise, he could have lost a crew member or two. Any consideration of getting a Stuggy, or did you just figure his Shermans would make it null?
Yeah, I considered it at one point, but those Shermans would probably tear it up and tear it apart.
Yeah, exactly. It's the unfortunate thing. That's what I don't like about the anti-infantry type units. I mean, they're great, but you're just gonna face heavy armor and die, or heavier armor.
That's why you need support with some anti-tank units or some Panzerschrecks.
Yeah.
Because they don't work alone, especially during the game.
There's some more defensive stance. Triple vet now. It's going to be nearly impossible to take them out without some rifle nades or something. There goes a rifle nade.
Yeah. See, I can only take out about 2 to 3, but I can never get enough to make them want to retreat that squad.
Right.
Those choke points are critical.
3 Shermans now moving in. Might be able to kill 1 Sherman. And will they get the Shrek shot off? Wow, I'm surprised they couldn't get that shot off.
It's kind of funny. I have bad luck. At the last critical moment, my ATs just missed the blow.
And the PGs couldn't get a shot either. So you're gonna go around the house with PGs to maybe throw a grenade on them. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, they retreated already.
Yep,
I
they
was
pulled
going to throw a grenade, but they. No, I know I couldn't. I didn't have the munitions for it. E45.
just about, not quite though. Yep. Oh, big Sherman shot on the PGs, and they're both gonna retreat. Double
Ooh,
AT,
and I dropped one Panzer truck on the ground. That's not good.
indeed. Although rather Kelvaro has a lot of squads with double HMGs, or sorry, LMGs possibly. No, he looks like he's got on the three-man squad. He could pick that up, but he must have not seen it.
With the 3 Shermans to like no tanks, I got definitely disadvantage on tanks. The only thing keeping them at bay is my anti-tank guns.
Yeah, and the PGs.
At this point, what do you think I should have gone for? Like, what units do you think would turn this around?
Well, if you could stall out, I mean, if you could stall out long enough, a Tiger might be a big play. But given the VP situation, you might almost be forced into another P4.
Yeah, that was my plan originally, to wait for a Tiger, but the victory point situation was not good.
Exactly. So do you go for a P4?
You'll see. Just keep watching.
Okay. Big push by Kelvaro into the mid, down to one man on the Panzer guns. Thankfully they don't drop another Shrek.
Oh,
Oh,
and Kelvaro drops some priest.
yep, Priest coming in.
From any
That's going to be tough. Good to call by him because he's got to deal with the AT guns. Um, uh, definitely a good call when the enemy has more than one AT gun.
Especially when you have a lot of support units to deal with, some artillery would be really good to go against.
Exactly. Now the looks like the Shermans are going to wipe out this cache and then pull back. Kelvaro probably tempted to probe the base of the Shermans, but he wisely just decides to pull back and repair. Double AT guns know where the Shermans went, so they're going to try and chase him down.
Yeah, I
Or
heard the engine sounds around here, so I tried
yeah,
to chase.
set up in an area where they might be soon making an appearance. And Kelvaro might have considered on that third tank also uncrewing, decrewing. Let's see if he does that, just to get the repairs done faster. Nope, he's going to use it against this blob. AT gun firing, double AT firing, nice setup by line. But 3 Shermans is just too many targets.
Oh, and he dropped more artillery.
Yep, yep. That's tough. A lot of infantry in support as well. Some infantry. Wow. Already not doing too much, but decent area denial.
Oh, took out my bet 3.
Is that the priest firing again? Yep.
Yes, I believe so.
Yep, it was. And the Shermans are coming to clean up here. Well played by Kelvaro. His use of artillery combined with the tanks has been very good, very good.
Yes, it has. Preserving it, especially. Unit preservation is very important.
Here comes the P4 now. He's angry.
My last desperate throw.
Yep. There's a weak Sherman. Let's see if he realizes and targets it. Yep.
Now,
Oh, and unluckily doesn't kill it. Oh, one missed shot by the Sherman. Another bounce on the P4. Incredible. Unfortunately, he returned his ass to them and blows up.
trying to go like around the house, try to get that weak Sherman, but unfortunately it didn't work that way.
Assault Grenadiers going for the capture, and unfortunately we run out of BPs. So,
Yeah.
what do you think you could have done differently there? Maybe do you think you saving for a tiger earlier, or
I would say investing in some mortars would have been a good idea, especially against those
definitely?
defensive stance riflemen. Hmm.
Yeah, definitely. What else could work against those? I guess maybe an Ostwind, but
I definitely wanted to go Noswin, but once I saw that Sherman, I decided against that.
yeah, too many Shermans.
If I got it, if I got the Noswin earlier, it might have turned the tide, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, it didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, as soon as you usually get an Ostwind, that's right about the same time the enemy will have a Sherman, unless you've dominated the fuel. So it makes it
Hmm.
really tough. Like the same thing that happened in our game. The Ostwind could only do so much. Other than that, any final comments or thoughts on the game?
Hmm. Definitely, if your opponent is strong on one side, try to go on the other side because that's when they're weaker, and you can try to have a better footing on them. So when they come over, you have a better chance of dealing with what they have, since you'll be in position to deal with the threat.
Were you just a little bit obsessed with killing that MG team because he stole it off you and then decided not
That
to
yeah,
go there?
that machine gun was the one on the choke point right next to my northern fuel point, which is really important. So I need to get my fuel back. So I
Right,
so I devoted a lot of my energy to that.
right. I suppose the only other thing, like you said, if you would have went south, you could have actually stolen his fuel, maybe. But that's hindsight.
Yeah,
Otherwise, a well played game by both sides. Well done by Kelvaro.
yeah, well
Congratulations.
done.
And he's into the finals now. So we'll see who he goes up against. And thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you later.
Signing out.